Hi, it's Colleen Schmidt once again from Divination Counseling Service, here to talk to you today about Kronos. So Kronos is maybe of the trans-Neptunians, maybe it's the one I've done the most work on. So as an astrologer, there's a lot I can say about Kronos. Okay, so I'm just going to filter in my information. First of all, Kronos is our authority figures. It's also time. It's also high, things that are high up. Airline tickets would be, especially if you're flying over water, Kronos, Atlantis. So whenever it's combined with something else, it can indicate things like airplane tickets. It can represent things like the highest point on the mountain, or it's about the height. Kronos is the authority. It's the highest level. It's doctors are Kronos Hades. A leader is a Kronos sun. So Kronos is our credibility. It's authority, how well we deal with authority, how well we deal with our own credibility, uh, our own level of credibility. Anyway, think of the word credible. You got Kronos. So Kronos is the authority. It's the highest level. So in this case, again, I won't go into too many retrogrades, but I can with Kronos because it's something that my teacher, Martha Lang Westcott, has talked about a lot. And again, retrograde is going to have a strong effect on all the trans-Neptunians. Believe me, it will. And that may be something that I'll talk about at some other point, because there's a degree of karma associated with the retrograde, and I can talk about that in another post. But in the case of Kronos, generally speaking, it is said that if somebody has a retrograde Cron or Kronos, okay, that they would doubt their own ability. Okay. Well, that's true unless that Kronos is stationing. Okay. If that's not a real retro, if it's really a station, and that would be the day it goes into retrograde, it stations first, it stops, if you will, then it goes backwards. Well, it happens also when it's going backwards, it's going to stop before it goes forward. That's going to have a huge difference in the trans-Neptunian or even the asteroid, okay, because they both can read very similarly. The credibility when a person has it stationary versus retrograde is they may still have doubts about themselves, but in a stationary situation, particularly someone like Kronos, they almost always have to be the authority. Being that said, there has to be a level of their own, responsibility in the hierarchy of things. In other words, they have to be relatively high up. And an extreme case here, if somebody had Kronos that was stationary, they might work for themselves, for example, because they could then become an authority at whatever that is, especially like tradesmen, like you're an electrician, you could be a really good electrician, but you probably could not work for another electrician. So of course that would make the process of becoming an apprentice to a journeyman a little bit more difficult. But with that said, the other thing that you want to look at it with Kronos, as I've already alluded to, is how is it aspected? Does it come, is it opposing Saturn so that you're going to always be rebellious about authority? I speak from something I've run into in astrology. There's your rebels. And then you have people that have Kronos, either equaling the sun or conjuncting the sun, and they are authorities. They are leaders. They're born into it. They're leaders. Also could be very tall people, but that also could come from Uranus. So there's a lot of factors that play into the height factor. But realize that Kronos does deal with height. So when you think of the top of the mountain, you're thinking Kronos. When you're thinking high up in the sky, an airplane, you're thinking Kronos. So just think of an elevated status, and we got it down for Kronos. In any event, if you have any questions, please contact me through the website, divinationcounselingservice.org. I would really love to hear from you. Comment. I'm loving the comments on the YouTube videos. It's awesome. I also have a website you can follow. So if you're interested, like, share, that would be awesome. And I would appreciate it. If you want any private work done, I think there's even some references on there from some of my clients. God love them. Anyway, please, until we meet again, happy readings.